Everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Rogue One K-2SO figure from Hasbro. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've been seeing with all the Black Series figures. You've got the window box with the figure clearly displayed. You've got an image of the character down below along with the name. On the side you have that red border and it tells us this is figure number 24 in the series. And then on the back of the packaging we have a brief bio in multiple languages. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now this figure does not come with any accessories at all. You just get the figure itself. The detailing on this figure I think is pretty good overall. I think they've done a good job with capturing the likeness of the character with the head sculpt. He's got the white eyes and he's got some metallic silver near his mouth and pretty nice sculpting detail with the mouthpiece. And on this side he's got a red mark for red light and he's got some scratches. They've used a black metallic paint throughout most of the figure, and then you can see like in certain areas there's a lighter silver, like here on his elbows and his wrists and his knees, and you can also see it here where between where the leg meets the waist piece. So I like that detailing. I like the sculpting on his chest and lower torso here. It has that very robotic look. And then on the back he's got that looks like a stormtrooper back piece with the circle and the two lines, and he's got these two little antennas which are done with a rubber type material. And he's got this little white square on the shoulders and the waist. They've used he's got some orange paints, to rim the elbows, and that's kind of scratched to give it a worn look. He's also got the Imperial symbols on both shoulders. This is an Imperial droid that I guess was reprogrammed by the Rebellion to work for them. And so again, overall detailing, I like the neck. I like the sculpting on the neck here. Again, very robotic looking. So I think that looks pretty good. And the arms and the hands and the fingers and everything I think come off looking good. Now the pegs that they use for the elbow and the knee and the ankle joints are actually done with a clear plastic, so that's kind of interesting. And then again you've got this kind of silver scratches throughout to give the figure a wear and tear look, so like here on his foot and here on his shoulder and stuff and on his chest. So I like that detailing with the scratch marks throughout the figure. So the figure stands just under 7¼ inches tall. Here's a comparison with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive K-2SO figure, and you can see that K-2SO is much taller, as he should be. In the trailers he appears to be a pretty big and tall robot. Here's a comparison with the Black Series Stormtrooper and Darth Vader figures, and K-2SO is the tallest of the bunch. And then finally, here's a comparison with the Black Series Imperial Astromech R2-Q5 figure. Articulation is pretty good on this figure. You can turn the head to the left and to the right. The neck is actually, you've got a ball joint where the neck attaches to the body, and then you've got a ball joint where the head attaches to the neck. So you can kind of look down there at the upper part of the neck, and you can look back a little bit, and you can pivot the head to the left and the right. But then the lower part of the neck also moves, so you can move the whole neck to the left and the right, and you can look down really good there at the neck. So good movement with the head and the neck there. Arms attached with their standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so you can get his arm out about that much. And then he's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He's got a swivel above the elbow and below the elbow, so he's got good rotation there. It's basically a single hinge type joint, but he can still bend his elbow pretty good. Then he's got swivels at the wrist, and he has hinges on the hands, so good up and down movement with the hands. No finger articulation. He has a midsection joint, so he's got good rotation there at the midsection, and he can look down a little bit but not a whole lot, and can kind of look back there a little bit, but again not a whole lot. Legs are attached with a ball joint, so he can do the splits about that much, and then he can get his leg forward good, and he can do his leg back good. Doesn't have a thigh swivel. The knees is kind of like the elbow, so you've got the rotation above the knee and below the knee, and he can bend his knee about that much. And then for the ankle, you've got good back and forth movement with the foot, and then you've got these side hinges so you can move the foot to the left and the right, and then 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this figure. K-2SO definitely seems like it's going to be one of the more interesting characters in the movie, and I think this figure does a good representation of that character. And probably it will be one of the more popular figures in this wave of Rogue One figures Hasbro's releasing. So this wave is technically not supposed to be released until September 30th. However, many stores have basically broken the embargo on the Rogue One stuff. So if you really started looking at places like Walmart, there's probably a good chance you might start finding these. But again, the official release date on these 6-inch Rogue One figures is September 30th. We'll have a full image gallery up at JediInsider.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.